holidays. It can be tough. So to see so many people engaged and ready to go on Monday, that's fantastic. I know that there's a lot of hope for 2022, right? The last 2 years have thrown a lot of change, a lot of frustration. It's just been full of all unknown circumstances. I think we're still going to face a lot of that. I woke up this morning with no school for my kids. Surprise! Like it just continues. So, but we're all in it together. We're gonna make more great progress this year, and we're really excited about what's coming up. So to dive right into the slides I have prepared, I do like this to be interactive. So if you have questions or there's things you want me to dive into, pop in the chat and let me know. If we can't get to it on today's call, we can line you up with additional information and resources to connect you. So I already quickly went through this. We're going to do a little bit of information about benefits. We're going to talk about vision boards, and then we will have some time to collaborate in breakout rooms. All right, so to jump into what's new in the IAW community over the last few months, actually over the last year, we're in a new year. So since the beginning of 2021, we have had a lot of change within the community. And whether you're new or you've been around for a while, I'll run through a few things. The biggest was technology. We launched a new website, both on the front end and the back end. Some new benefits. We have still been doing everything virtually in terms of events. The most recent changes, so we did launch a new Facebook group. If you haven't seen that, haven't joined that, I will pop a link in the chat in just a minute so you can get in there. The goal of the Facebook group is we've had a lot of requests from members and non-members to have a group that allows us to better connect and share the resources in the upcoming events. Facebook limits a lot of what we can get to you in terms of content, but everybody's there. That's where a lot of people are getting their information. So the group allows us to share information in an additional way. The group is open to members and non-members. So the things that are gated to the community, the events, the resources, the benefits, that's all going to stay within the website. The group allows us to have another place to share things. It also gives us an opportunity for people who are not necessarily a member yet, but they have questions or they want to meet members. They can go in that group as well and see what we're up to. Weekly resources is something new we're launching this year. So every week we will have a new resource to share with the community. If you participated in the Advent calendar in December, that will give you kind of a feel of the things that are going to be coming out each week. So today we have our vision planning workbook, which I'll share a link to in just a minute. Next week, it's going to be a goal setting list. The week after, there's going to be some printable affirmations. So every week there'll be something new that will inspire or support your personal goals. Mentorship is something that we have had in the community since we launched the new website. We are going to be doing some programming at the end of January to help people get mentor profiles set up, both on the mentor and the mentee side. Along with that, we're also going to be guiding you through how to use the platform and connect as a mentor or as a mentee. So stay tuned for more information coming about mentorship, as well as goal setting. We are in the process of launching a platform within the website where you'll be able to identify your goals. You can go in and change them at any time. And based on what your own goals are, there'll be targeted resources and things that get shared with you within the community. So that will be launching later this month. Stay tuned, but lots of great things coming. I said I would share a link to that Facebook group. Give me just a moment. Let me grab that. And once you submit a request to the group, it will go, it'll have to be approved. So it'll ask you a couple of questions, submit that, and we usually get them turned around pretty quickly. All right, so then this month within the community, I want to talk about a few of our events and our resource. So there's a vision planning workbook. I published it in the community this morning. I will share a link to that as well. I know that a few of you are having problems logging in. If you can't log in at the moment, we will get that working for you over the next 24 hours. If you can't access this, let me know and we can send it to you directly as well. But the vision workbook, I will refer to this workbook during this call today, but it's something that you can go in and download when you want. It's a PDF, you can print it, you can use it to help guide you through your vision for 2022. A couple of the events that I want to highlight. So Trustworthy is one of our partners. They are going to be hosting a workshop next week on Monday. I will get this linked up in the community. They were confirming a few of the registration details just last night. But Trustworthy is a really great tool for sort of managing and having visibility into all of your secure information. And it's one common place where you can store it all. The workshop next week is designed for you to set up a free trial of their platform.
Hey, Mommy.
Walk through.
Nothing. I saw that I missed your call. I was on with the attorney.
Then we have Horizon Insights. We're launching on Horizon Insights a series of content called New Year, New You. It will be all about personal branding and defining your brand, using your brand on social media, how you show up as you. Leadership Lab, we have a couple of speakers planned this month. Those will be up in the community soon. Mentorship, I already talked about. The mentorship events, we'll have one that's how to set up your mentor profile, one that's how to set up your mentee profile, and both of those will also go over how to actually match with mentors or mentees within the community. Speed networking is on Thursday this week. We've gotten lots of really great feedback about the speed networking format. And it is a great way to connect with people in a condensed period of time. It moves really quick, and it sorry, I just want to make sure people got connected. I see a couple of messages here that people were looking for the link. So speed networking is great if you're looking to connect quickly in a fun format. And then finally, our local chapter connects are planned. We are still virtual with local chapters. We are exploring how to get back in person. Of course, the universe keeps throwing new changes our way. So as much as we all want to be back in person, we also want to be safe. So we're exploring what it looks like to go back in person and what it means for each of our chapters. All of these events will be in the community. So if you log in at community.iawomen.com, that's where you'll go to log in and then register. I see somebody asking a question, how do you download the book? So when you log in, so the link that I put in, I'll share the link again. You will want to be logged in to access this link. And once you're logged in, it should give you the option to download the ebook. I will also send this out as an attachment. So for anyone who's here today, I will send out a follow-up that will actually have the PDF attached. The one other thing I want to talk about for upcoming is book club. We had some conversation within the community about the best format for book club. Do people want to see it continue? How are we going to run it? The consensus was that people do want to see it continue. So we're going to change the format slightly where there will be, it'll kind of be over a 6-week period. So I'm going to post this in the community later today. This is the next book we're reading. It's called, sorry, I have my background blurred, so I don't know if you can see it. The Long Game by Dory Clark. And what I will do is I will post the introduction today, and then each week I'll post a question to guide some conversation in the community. And then on week 6, we'll have a meeting on Zoom where we go into breakout rooms and have conversations about the book. So it'll be kind of a 6-week guided discussion virtually, followed up by a Zoom conversation on February 8th. If you have questions, you want to participate, that's great. I love book club. I think it's great. I know that a lot of people have very good intentions about buying lots of books. Sometimes books aren't, they're the first thing to fall off the list when we're trying to do things. I'm hopeful that a guided conversation over a period of time will help with keeping people on track with reading. The other thing I will encourage, even if you haven't read the book, you're still welcome to join the conversation. I set up the questions in a way that guide us through conversation about circumstances within the book or challenges, but you don't necessarily have to relate to what this author has said or have insights from the book to engage in the conversation. You'll still value from the conversation on Zoom. All right. So that's what we have on for January and February, kick off the year. But what I want to move into now is your vision for 2022 and go through some vision work around what are you planning? What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? Where are you going to end up this year? And I've set this up sort of like a workshop. It's going to move pretty quick. So I encourage you to have a pen and paper ready to take down notes. You'll want to come back to this when you have time to reflect and really map out what your plan is for 2022. The vision work, often I encourage people to spend time with this. It's not necessarily a 20-minute exercise where you just put together your board. I'm going to backtrack for just a minute. I see a question in the chat. So for book club, it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific. I will apologize. There's a typo on the slide. It should say 5 p.m. Pacific time. So 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time, to clarify that. All right. So vision for 2022. I want you to take a moment, as I said, and grab a notepad or scratch paper and think about the new year. I think for many people, the new year marks a fresh start, right? It's a time to reflect on what happened last year, what's happened in the past couple of years, and for us to really think about a fresh start and new ways to move forward. Thinking about what your goals are, what your plans are, what do you want to achieve in the new year? Whether you've been feeling stuck or you're ready for change, you've been thrust into new circumstances, and it's time to sit down and really think through, what are these new circumstances? How am I going to set myself up for success this year with what I have right now? Or maybe you've been thinking about something, a big career change or starting a business, and you're ready to take that leap. You have the power to do just that. And the start of a new year is a great time to reflect on where you're at and where you're going to go. So today we're going to be talking about vision boards. We're going to be talking about taking those things, those feelings, things inside of you, mapping them out on an actual visual board that you can then use to guide your success for the year. I'd love to hear in the chat if you've used a vision board in the past. If you can let me know, because we have so many people on, I think it's going to get a little too noisy if we have people coming off mute. So if you can let me know in the chat if you've used a vision board, if you have any positive experiences or things you want to share related to it, I'd love to hear. It looks like quite a few of us have a vision board and a vision journal. Now it's moving fast. Oh, look at this. Allison says she loves her. She's seen so much come to life. Becky says last year was the first one. It really helped me stay focused on your goals. That's great. Used one. Have not used one, but anxious to learn. Yes, it's inspiring to do it. Helps me stay focused. I do one yearly. I love them. I haven't, but I'm interested. Helpful to keep adding to it throughout the years. All right, so it looks like we have a mix. I think a lot of us have. Oh wow, lots of comments. I love seeing comments in the chat, you guys. This is great. All right, so let me just we still have people in the waiting room. Okay, people are still joining. No board or journal, just a lot of visualizing for me. So I think the idea of visualization is helpful. It's important. Right. And sometimes I think, especially when we're feeling stuck, where there's been a lot of change, it can be a great way to put it all out there. What is it that I really want to achieve? I have a couple of examples of vision boards here that I want to share with you. Heather says her vision board needs glasses. Mine didn't see very clearly. Heather, I'm with you on that. I feel that very much. And I think that there's beauty in having a vision board, because it allows you to put out there what you want. It allows you to really dig deep and think through, who am I? Where do I want to be? What am I going to achieve? But the world has thrown a lot of crazy things our way, and we don't always have control over everything that comes up. But I do think having the vision board helps ground us and bring us back to what it is that we want to achieve. So often, a vision board is a collection of words and images that will inspire you. Now, I say often because at the end of the day, it's your vision. You can write it on a Post-it note. You can have a journal. You can have a board hanging on your wall. I've seen somebody who actually just taped things all around her office wall, and that was her vision board. It's common to see boards like these that have clippings from magazines. If you like to doodle, it might be a page in your journal that you've written on. Some people use their phones or they use their computer and they go in on Canva and they create it electronically, and then they always have it to carry with them at any point in time. The idea of the vision board is that you're collecting inspiration from around that are going to give you visual cues into what you want to achieve. Now, I want to talk for a moment about your vision board being a moment in time. So as it's early in the year, it's a new year, it marks a moment in time, which is when we're often thinking of a new beginning. It's time to restart, it's time to refresh. And I do think that this is a great time to reflect on your past success and really think about your vision for the future. But this one moment in time does not have to be the only time that you go through this exercise. I think that if there's been any kind of changes in your life or you have new opportunities coming up, there's always different opportunities to do vision work. If you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling unfulfilled, if you feel like there's just something that needs to reset and guide you in a new direction, you can go back through this work at any point in time. To answer the question in the chat, Vicky, there is a blue line. I don't know where it came from. I will apologize. I don't know how to make it go away. You're not wrong. I see the blue line on one screen, but not on the other. So sorry for the blue line. I hope it's not distracting you. So the vision board I'm talking about today is the kickoff of this new year. But at any point in time, if you feel like it's time for a change or it's time to reassess, there's no reason that your vision board has to be just one moment in time. You can add to it, you can take things away from it, you can change it as you see fit. I also want to remind you that it's your vision. It's all about you. So often we'll look to other boards for inspiration. But what that does is it introduces external influences that might push you in the wrong direction. You might see that somebody else has a beautiful picture of a new car on their board. And so you say, oh, I want to visualize a new car too. But is that really you talking, or is it because you saw it on somebody else's board? So it's important to really own the vision as yours and create this as your own reflection of your personal values and goals. You don't want to set yourself up with things that aren't going to leave you feeling completely fulfilled in the end. So keep in mind that it's all about your vision. This is all work for yourself. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to guide you through some prompts to help you start crafting your vision for the upcoming year. We don't really have time to master a full workshop. And I think for a full workshop, having access to tools and some space and the ability to cut things out and to print things out is helpful. But I want to talk you through how to use the workbook that we put out this morning, as well as what you can do, questions you can ask yourself, some prompts to help start you with getting your own vision board created. So I'm going to walk through these. I will pause for some moments so that you can work through and take some notes as well. But step one is going to be to clarify your vision. And this helps to do some time, just give yourself some time and space to think. The clarifying questions that I have. So who do you want to be? And this, you can think about who you've been in the past, and who you want to be in the future. Where do you want to be in life? Do you feel like you're in the place you want to be? Is there room for you to improve? Are there opportunities for growth? What experiences do you want to have? And then finally, what do you want to leave behind? Are there things that you've been doing or things you feel that are not lending themselves to success in the new year? I'm going to pause here for a moment and give you just 2 minutes to jot some notes based on these clarifying questions. And if there's anything that sticks out to you that you want to share in the chat, you can go ahead and do that as well. Dr. Ruby, I see your question here. So some of these questions are in the workbook. I will I created the workbook and then I created the presentation, so they kind of go hand in hand together. But I have to go back and check. I'm not sure if all of these are in there, but similar questions are in there. You also will receive this presentation as well as a recording of this session. So you'll be able to refer back to these questions. You'll have these, you'll be able to print them out and access them. So about 1 more minute thinking through some of these clarifying questions. And again, if there's anything you want to share in the chat, go right ahead. For those that are new, that joined late, let me just get you the link to the workbook. So the workbook is within the IAW community. You will have to log in to access the workbook. If you're having problems logging in, let us know. I'm going to actually... All right, so if there's any login issues, send a note to memberservices@iawomen.com and they'll be able to get you connected into the community. I noticed this morning there were a few people who couldn't get passwords reset. So if that's a problem, let us know at Member Services. Now, the office is closed today, so they will not respond to you today, but they will get back to you tomorrow. Also, I will send out an email today that includes access to the workbook without having to log in. So if you're here, you'll get that link and be able to go access the workbook today. All right, so now that we've worked through the clarifying questions, I'm going to move on to step 2, which is assessing your priorities. Because as sorry, it skipped ahead. The clarifying questions in step 1 will likely leave you with a lofty list of goals, a lot of things that you see or you feel or you want to do. And spending time in each area might be unlikely or unreasonable. We only have so many hours in every day. And I am notorious. I'm really bad about, okay, yep, I'll put that on my plate and I'll take that and I'll take that. I have a hard time saying no. So like when I think about things I don't want to take with me into the year, it's that inability to say no and to say, my plate is too full. And so what we want to do is we want to take the priorities and we want to assess them so that rather than trying to take it all on and risking burnout, we're going to really assess what are the priorities and where can we build in items that are going to have the most impact and results on my own personal journey. So on page 6 of your workbook, you'll see that there's this list of areas. And this is a great list to use to make note of where you want to incorporate more time or where you want to incorporate more energy in the new year. You can use what I have done, and I left it upstairs. I meant to bring my printout down here with me. I was working with my kids are home today, surprise. So I was upstairs doing this activity, and I've actually circled on page 6 and made notes on page 7 of the things where I want to spend my time and energy in 2022. There may be things that fall outside of this, and that's perfectly okay. It's your vision. Remember, it's where you want to spend your time. It's what you want to focus on. But circle the items that you're most pulled towards. Circle the items where you really want to spend time, where you really want to plan your energy. You can use the next page in the workbook to take any specific notes on feelings or things that inspire you. I see somebody else struggles and has to schedule downtime. Yes, I've reached that point. We schedule it. If it's on the schedule, I have a better shot of actually making it happen. I'm going to pause here for a moment and let you kind of explore the areas of focus and make some notes on specific items that you want to focus on in the new year. And again, if anyone wants to share in the chat where anything that pulls towards you or that you feel, I would love to see it. A working mom with 2 littles, it's a challenge. Yep. And it's important. The downtime is important. I think that it's very easy to pile it on, especially when you have small kids at home and you're trying to manage it all. And burnout is not a fun place to be. And it's easy to let go of yourself in lieu of investing in everybody else. And I've had to make that a priority. I've had to actually be intentional about taking time for myself and making sure that my kids, I have 3 small kids, so making sure they have what they need. But also making sure that I have what I need. I'm going to pause for about a minute to let you work through this one. Right. I have a couple of direct messages. Also, if you don't want to share with the entire group, you can send to me as a direct message. So somebody says they have a book they need to finish, can't think of what category. There actually is a category. I don't know if you can see my pointer, but in the second to bottom row, second column, it actually says books. And books for me is a big one. I don't think you can see behind me. I have a stack of books and book club has actually helped me with that. Book club has helped me dive in and be more accountable with finishing books. Certifications, skills, being an entrepreneur, rebuilding my life after a divorce. That's all great stuff. And I think the rebuilding your life is an important one, right? You've had a massive change in your life, and taking some time and really thinking through, who are you now and what are you going to achieve this year? And what do you need to do to set yourself up for that achievement plan? All right, I'm just reading through some of these comments. Relationships is another one. So I see somebody here saying she's married to a wonderful man who is supportive, but haven't given him the time he should have and that we need. And again, relationships is on here. I think relationships with spouses, with partners, with friends, with family is somewhere that some people need to spend some time. The whole top row. All right. It looks like we all have some books to be read. Oh, sorry. So I see someone's on their phone, so they're having a hard time seeing. I will send out this presentation, and this is a page taken from the workbook. So you will be able to come back and reference this after this event. All right. All right. Sounds like we have some good stuff to focus on. I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So the third step, this is where we start to have a little creativity come into play. We're going to gather our material. So you're going to take your vision work. You're going to take the goals you want and the feelings you have, and you're going to actually create the vision board, whether it's a notebook page, whether it's something you're going to frame, that's on you to own. So I think having it be a physical item is important. I think that you can do the work, you can kind of have the checklist within your notepad, but determine if you want a board that you can hang on your wall or that you can put on your computer background. If you're creating a physical board, magazines are a great starting point for your inspiration. So you can take your magazines, you can rip out the words, you can cut out the photos. You can also search on the internet and print items to use on your board. This is where you get to get creative. I'm not super creative, so you won't find me with a fancy little written out board. I likely will go to magazines and I'll cut out pictures and do it that way. But you want to look for images that will represent the items that you're going to focus on for 2022. It's all up to you to select these images. Again, you want them to represent you and how you feel. So take some time to go through and identify the images. Like if there's books that you're trying to read, you may want to take the photos of the book and put them on your board. If there's something that you're trying to write, like it's going to be what represents the actions for you. And so when you look at that board, are you going to go take those actions? I also have a slide in here about using affirmations and words. And this can help to define specific actions and feelings for your vision. So in the workbook, we've included some affirmations and words to help get you started with this. We're going to be sharing some additional printable affirmations in the coming weeks, but having these included in your vision board help to bring it all together. When using affirmations, place these somewhere that you can view them frequently and state them out loud to yourself. I have one hanging in my bathroom on my mirror that I can read every single morning and every night before I go to bed. And sometimes I do it in my head, sometimes I say it out loud, but using affirmations can be a powerful way to manifest what it is you want to achieve. So when using these, put these affirmations and words in your board. and use them. So I see somebody, I love the computer wallpaper idea. The physical image board hung in my view next to my desk was useful in 2021. That's great. I tend to find motivational artwork and decor when out shopping. Yes. If you scroll through the photos on my phone, you'll see I sometimes take photos of things if I see something that I like. That's a quote or a wall hanging or something. Kalenda recorded her affirmations and listens to them 1 to 5 times a week. That's awesome. I love that. Thank you for sharing. All right. So some tips for success with your vision board. I don't know why it's okay. Here we go. My computer's having a mind of it all today. So display your vision board where you'll see it often. If you have your vision board tucked away, if you have it sort of embedded within a notepad that's sometimes on your desk, sometimes it's in your bag, you kind of like flip through it every so often, it's not going to have the same effect as if it's quite literally hanging on your wall where you'll see it every day. So I have a space on my wall where mine goes. I also say share your vision with your community. Sometimes there's things within there that might be private to us, but if you share with your community, you're more likely to put it out there and get the support that you need. Sometimes it can be intimidating to share those big ideas or dreams, but when we share the goals, we're more likely to realize those goals. So sharing your vision with your community, while it might seem a little intimidating or overwhelming, can help you to actually achieve things. Dream big. A lot of times I know that we let our fear get in the way from voicing everything we want to do. And even if your goals can't be achieved, you might put something on your vision board that is not achievable in the next 12 months. We're going to talk next week. Next week, one of the resources we're sharing is around goal setting and SMART goals and making things realistic. So is it realistic in the next 24 months or 5 years? It can go on your vision board now because you want to be moving in the right direction. Putting the vision out there now means that at some point in the future, it will be realized. It doesn't have to be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. The timeline is yours to own. But having it on your vision board is important because you want to know what it is. Sorry, I'm moving participant windows and it's advancing my slides. Okay. You want to dream big here. Finally, I like to identify what I call motivators. So motivators for me are things like they're people or a source of inspiration that will help me to stay on track. So people I follow on social media, podcasts I listen to, books I read, but I check in every so often, like with podcasts, I listen to them weekly, or there's certain people I follow on YouTube and they motivate me. Sorry, my audio did it again. Give me one moment. All right. Apologies if the sound cut out. So the motivators are what gives me inspiration. So when I feel stuck or I feel like things are challenging or things get hard, they're people who are going to kind of help nudge me the way I need to go. And then finally, the success board. So think about creating a success board that is similar to your vision board, but tracks your accomplishments. Where can you look back and display things that show just how far you've come? For some, this might be awards or trophies or physical items. For others, it might be a list of achievements. But having a way to track and monitor the things you're achieving can help you to keep building momentum. So now I want to open up for some discussion. And so I am going to open breakout rooms. So we'll have